Methadone changed my life.
It changed my life.
It changed my life.
Once you start, you can't stop. You're being drawn in, constricted by chains so heavy you can't get back up. Going into withdrawal is even worse. It gets harder to sleep. Everywhere it's either really hot or really cold. Feeling sick all the time for the lack of meth. Having nightmares of things that shouldn't be.
I had a fairly normal lifestyle. Went to work, socialized with friends, went to church every Sunday, had a good job. Well, I think I have to say it was probably some of the friends that I hung around with. Initially, we kind of started off just drinking and smoking pot, and one thing led to another, and one of my friends suggested, let's try meth. And once you try it, it's kind of hard to stop.
So I was a counselor for about a decade, and I was a chief program officer for another 5 or 6 years, and in that capacity I got to meet thousands and thousands of people in recovery, and a lot of them sounded and looked a lot like me, and a lot of them sounded and looked a lot like my kids. My personal journey started like a lot of people's journey. High school is a fun time to experiment with a whole bunch of things, and at least when I was younger, I didn't really think that anything was going to hurt me. And it came to a point where I had to decide whether I was going to continue my behaviors or stop. My definition of an addict is somebody who, when you stop using the drug that you've chosen to use, your body starts going through withdrawal, and your mind says, I cannot stop this. It becomes something that's not a choice. It becomes something that you have to do every day.
Until they started doing drugs, my friends were fairly normal. We did the same things. We went to the gym, we had barbecues, cooked out families. We all did things together. My father was an alcoholic and a very strict man, and my mother was a homekeeper. She stayed at home, and she pretty much just let us do what we wanted to do. When I was growing up, I wanted to become a doctor. When I got older, I went to go to college and have a good family, have a happy family.
Having people come into the emergency room with kind of short-term use, acute issues is not all that uncommon. I think some of the worst side effects have to do with its short-term side effects, in the sense that if your blood pressure is really high and your heart's pounding away, if that goes to a point, if that's driven by the drug to a point that your body can't handle it anymore, you can have a heart attack, you can have a stroke. Actually, I had a patient who was, I think he was like 32, 33, something like that, who was very healthy otherwise, used a lot of methamphetamines and had a stroke. After a high, there's a crash, right? People feel great for a short time, and then as the drug washes out of the body, they feel terrible. And a drug like methamphetamine, it's a quick on, quick off. So what ends up happening is that because you feel bad, you want to get out of that bad feeling state, you want to feel good again, and so what do? Well, you want to use more meth, right? You take methamphetamines, you get high, and then you crash. So you take more to get out of that crash, but then you crash even harder, not that much longer later, and you can end up with a very dangerous feedback cycle.
Well, I had to hide the drugs and the drug use from my family. My wife, excuse me, and ultimately my wife divorced me, and my kids don't speak to me anymore, and I don't have a family life anymore.